I know I said poplar, and as you can see right next to the poplars, I planted saplings. It's actually good if they grow. I kept the pallet because I would like to plant more. I can even plant them in an uncultivated field. I don't need a cultivated field for that. But I did go back and get the saplings. So I'm sure everybody was screaming when they saw me plant the wrong things. That explains the spacing. I didn't even pay attention, but you can see there's quite a bit of difference between poplars and saplings. I noticed when I came, after making the video, I went back, looked at it, and said, hold on here, there's something wrong. So, well, let's get the show started. And we're back. This is Ice and Quinn with another episode, actually episode 3 of American Outback AgriCorp farming contract. And we are in early, actually mid-spring now. It's the same day, same week it was in episode 2, because we're continuing the plant, but the planting's going well. I could have started this a lot earlier. See, this is going to be going the wrong way here, so I'm just going to stop that. I want to go the other way. If we can. I intentionally put a little bit of a gap between the others, the saplings and these, because I want to be able to drive a vehicle down there. Let's see if we can get this worker started this way. Hopefully that will work. So yeah, we're in the same week. We've got a lot of planning to do, so we'll probably do some fast forward video through a couple of these parts here as we do a little bit of planning. So I guess sit back and enjoy the ride so we can at least see a little bit of what we're here for. Now this field is a completely different story. I'm going to hop out here, get out of his way. After I originally plowed it, I immediately started the planting because, well, that's what I do when you don't have seasons. You can plant any time. So you can see here's what I originally planted. Let me take out my handy device. I planted soybeans. There's zero growth. Now they might just stay there until it's time to grow. I don't know, but I'm actually planting over them over here. I'm planting canola, as you can see there, because that should start growing now. So there's no reason to keep the field dormant until otherwise. And let's go through this and see what we have. other fields we need to plant. We've got 8 sort of off and on planted. 7 has been planted. We need to check on 4. We need to buy 9 and 13 because they have stuff planted on them. We have to plant in 1. We're working on 2, and I believe we have to plant in 3 because we plowed it. We own 6, so we've got a lot of fields to check here, and some fields to buy. But at least we're well underway, and it looks like we're going to be getting rain today, so I want to get as much planted as we possibly can. Although, driving ourselves completely bankrupt with hired hands. But let's go see what we need to plant. I'm going to hold off, I think, on... I want to plant wheat in 1 field. And I guess that will be the one large field that we have, because I'm going to need the straw that I gather from it. We drove too far up here, but we can always correct that. And I want to plant sunflowers, and I believe in field 1. And then we want some soybeans too, so we might... I don't know if we're going to be... I should turn my blinker on there. If we're going to be able to get soybeans. Now, it does look like the grass is growing, so we're going to try and cutting some grass. See if that helps at all. Let me look at my GPS because we're way up here. We want to go to the next turn and then turn down and pick up field 9 and field 13, which is the total of the deal that we made with Mary. I just wanted to make sure those crops are going to grow, and it looks like crops are growing over here already. I'm going to pull over on the side of the road so we can just see what these folks are growing. Run across the road quickly. It looks like corn. It's canola. Okay, a 17% growth. So, it's interesting. You know, it's the mod of seasons. It's not going to be perfect. I mean, canola should be growing. Apparently, they managed to get it planted before it was warm enough. I don't know if its growth just accelerated or what. I don't know. I still have to fertilize those fields as well. We've got a lot of work to do now that we can actually plant and do something over the crazy bridge. I wonder if we should start a pool on what episode it'll be before I drive off the bridge, and with how much equipment. Not that I'm rushing this guy or anything. Okay, we're gonna do the crazy driver stuff and pass him. Although our field's coming right up here, so it's one grass field there, so that'll be the next place we go to see if the grass has grown. I haven't fertilized it, so we're not going to expect great outcomes, but with enough fields, it should be able to work. I'm going to make sure this is Mary's field. Yep, it is. This one's 87,000 for it, and the other one we buy for 141, and then we get the whole deal. Sugar beets, 0% growth. Of course, they would be at this point. So I'm not sure what to do with that. If I should start fertilizing early, well, let's go ahead and buy that. That's going to bring. I want to stay around 800,000. So this might be this purchase here from Mary might be the last thing that we do. If you didn't catch it in the last episode, went and had breakfast at Waffles. And let's check the grass over here. Met up with Abel Nelson and James Harris, who's apparently not related to Ed Harris whatsoever. And they introduced me to Mary, who was recently divorced and she's trying to move out of the country. She wants to sell everything. Grass is growing quite well. It's at 67%. So we Today probably wouldn't be a good day to harvest it, but I need it because, and I might start, you know, on this field, because it's going to grow back after I kill it by driving over it, because I need to feed sheep. What was the other field? It was 13, wasn't it? Yes, 13. What's growing in that field? I'm guessing that's probably canola as well. They plant soybeans much later. This is the other field here that we're buying when we buy all of the property from Mary. She owns that field as well. She let it go to pasture after the divorce. And then once we buy the property, she'll be happily moving to France to raise goats. Which doesn't sound too bad. One of the complaints they had was health insurance was actually too high for them now as independent farmers. So everyone seems to be fleeing from this corporate takeover, and these would be potatoes, as I thought. No growth, but they seem to be okay, so let's make sure this is Mary's field. She seems to be doing sugar beets and potatoes. Yeah, and that puts us at 900,000 by the time we're done paying our workers. Might not be able to afford much more if we want to keep around the 800,000 point. And I'll send Mary an email, see when we can meet up to finish arrangements on the house and the barn. She owns the barn down the road here as well, which will come in handy if there's a way to get to the barn. I don't have the keys to it, so I probably can't open it. No. Let's have the back door open. It's never wise to go. It's sunk into the ground quite a bit. The building's been settling. So we may not have much of a barn there. Can't tear it down, but can, but it's a traditional barn. Probably worth more keeping in the countryside. In case the corporation I'm working for ever goes bankrupt, people can buy back their property. Oh, I'm adjusting my co-host Thackeray, the cat, who's climbed up on my lap. And so I'm having, I guess, greater difficulty than usual driving, which is not to say much at all. I was hoping he'd turn. So we might try cutting a little bit of grass, just because we do desperately need it for the cattle. Let me open the map here. We'll pretend there's a blinker on there. That's our field. That's actually our cattle or our sheep. We have a few sheep, but they're not doing well at all because of no food. Okay, that might not be our field over there or not. But on the opposite side of the road is definitely our sheep farm. So we'll hook up the grass cutting equipment, see if we can get just a little bit of grass, or we might even just try it on the shoulders of a couple fields so we can get them something. Maybe not destroy the entire fields worth of crops. We'll park at the house here. Need to wash the van anyhow. Driveway. It is a nice spring day. That's one advantage. Let's remain there for lumber when we do get it. Okay. So we'll hop in our tractor over here. I can't load up everything and haul it, so we might drive the tractor there and then go over here and get the tractor though. As I said before, this is actually a good deal. If you get the Amazon backloaded sprayer system that goes on the back of a tractor, it's $9,000 and that's $11,000. It's got a larger spray size and it's used, but it already comes with narrow wheels and it is well, self-propelled, so to speak. Let's cut through here, see if I can remember which area. Here we go. All the mowing equipment. And we're back. Have it all loaded up. We'll see if we're going to get any grass. We're going to get some grass from it. That's good, because any will certainly help. This will be the fastest spot for emergency grass for this poor sheep, which means we can pick up some more sheep, which is going to cost us 100,000 or more. Well, more than 100,000. Give the correct price of sheep. Unfortunately, I am using the narrow tires on this, so I'm not going to damage the grass as much as I go driving around. The forager will, though. So we'll make a good pass of this. See as much as we can. You can see the track marks from all the other vehicles and trailers. Let's see if we can unfold this and lower it. And see what a mess I can make out of all this. Here, turn it on and see how many rows I can make and then unmake. this up. And see if we can bring over to the sheep. Because they're starving. Literally. Okay, I'll go out here. Leave sun map on. Turn right. We did get quite a bit here. A little bit of a jostling in there. That's my co-host going for the microphone again. When I run off track, besides being a horrible driver, I'm fighting for my controller because my co-host likes two things. The PS4 controller that has a light on it, and the microphone because apparently I'm using it. That seems to be good enough reasons for him. And now he's sort of hanging around here. Now, is this where I feed? No, that would be the cattle. I've already watered. Or prior, on the first day, I put water in there because I assumed I'd just be cutting grass. Again, not familiar with the Seasons mod, so a lot of grass there for the sheep that I can just cut too. So there have been never a reason. There goes my co-host again. To actually plant field 2 full of grass, except to make sure I did get some grass. Okay, where am I going here? Am I going the right way? No, it's still up the road here. Yeah, the next episode we'll purchase some more sheep because we've lost quite a bit. Just don't know how much. Like I said, I want to keep around 800,000, which is just an arbitrary number. There's one there. I think there's one on the other side. So. Although I believe this is this one for water? Well, we'll drive around the other way and find out. One where you unload them, and there's one on the farm side. Thankfully on this farm, they are very close to the farm and they're all together. Now that's where you unload them, and I think this is the one that has water. It is, they're out of water. Up in there, see if we can unload it. Nope. I thought this one's water. They're going to need water too. But at least we can get them some grass. They're kind enough to put out the obligatory one bale. Game starts with one bale even if you don't have sheep, but the bale doesn't appear to put sheep there. Okay, why are we going to feed them with this? Apparently quite a ways. Of course, we don't have that many sheep either, do we? So it looks like we've got can even mow in that field, but I guess I do it in the field across the way. Let's check on our workers. He's chugging away. We have plenty of trees to chop down this winter, which will keep us employed. And this young man, or young woman, I forgot to check, is completed. So we have these two fields planted with canola, which usually has a pretty good price. Soybeans, the new canola. No growth yet, 23% water. I haven't fertilized the field, so we need to do that too. Okay, so both about the same. Well, that's wonderful. Thanks everyone for watching. We're going to try and wrap this up so we don't have too much time on our hands. Looks like today is a little bit of rain. Tomorrow or next week is going to be sunshiny or so cloudy all week with a high of 58, high of 64 today. Ground temperature still at 41, but you can see in our planting season, everything that's green can be planted. That's at the red line or before it. So sunflowers next week can be planted. So we want to plant those. And soybeans, it looks like the end of the month. Okay, potatoes and sugar beets could be planted already, so that's why they're growing there. Corn needs 50 degrees. Soybeans needs 50 degrees also, and sunflowers need 45. So we might not be planting them. I can't even do oil seed radish to do sort of a cover crop because it's not there. So the things we're planting right now, do want to get some wheat. We still have a few more weeks for wheat. So we'll see what field we can put that in there. I also want to stagger them. If I plant them all the same week, they'll come due the same week, and then we have a harvest nightmare. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm Quinn Eisen on Twitter, and I broadcast on Twitch on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 o'clock p.m. That's -5 GMT time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, that is. And this series, I'm shooting for a new episode every day of the week, and I'm also running a Start From Scratch Oregon Springs series on the same channel, Farm Simulator 17. But instead of working for a megacorp with lots of money, I'm going to start out with 20 grand, or I have started out with 20 grand and probably a massive bank loan. So thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions, do leave them in the comments. If you'd like to, give it a like, and I guess since I'm starting a new channel here, subscribe if you feel like it. Not, then leave a comment. Either way. Or if you want to share the video with someone, please do. And until next time, make sure you have a good day.